Good Friday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with the Weather Report, exclusively for you Facebook subscribers and YouTube members here on your August the 28th, 2026. It also happens to be Free Sampler Friday, so everybody on Facebook and YouTube gets today's report, so please consider becoming either a Facebook subscriber and YouTube member and be part of the specialized weather family. All right, let's go ahead and get into today's report real quick. Just to show you what I did yesterday. I didn't post yesterday. I was playing around with that 24-hour machine, which didn't work, and I was going to take it back, and I thought it had cloned my desktop. So when I went to clear it, no, it was linked virtually, and I ended up deleting a bunch of files. Now, I did restore a bunch of them, but I don't have everything back yet, so sorry about that yesterday. Lesson learned there. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's report as we're taking a look here at Blairsville and Brasstown Ball. Got a little bit of fog and some clouds around up across North Georgia, but Braselton, Dahlonega looking pretty good with some pretty good sunshine, looking good there this morning. Looking over toward Helen, seeing sunny skies there for the weekend, and I know a lot of folks will be doing a little bit of tubing. It's going to be pretty nice weather. In fact, the warm weather, folks, is not going anywhere. We're going to see above normal temperatures continuing into September. Got some clouds over there in the Athens area here for this morning as UGA gets going. And a nice sunrise there in Dahlonega. Very nice looking sky there. A little bit of that mountain fog there off in the distance. And looking at some decent skies there in Dalton, Georgia as well for this morning. And looking up towards Sky Valley, got a little bit of light fog there that'll quickly burn on off as we continue with our daytime heating. So we do have a stationary boundary in the area. Now, if you're on the back side of this, like northwest side, you're probably going to stay on the dry side here for today. But if you're anywhere around that frontal boundary, especially the eastern zones for today, probably your most favored spots for seeing a few scattered showers and thunderstorms for today. This morning, you're seeing a lot of activity down here along the Gulf Coast. A pretty good rainy start down there. So hopefully they'll see things begin to improve there as folks maybe make one last ditch to the beach for the weekend. As we look at our satellite picture, you're definitely seeing it a lot cloudier down here across central Georgia and south Georgia. And I know some folks got to see that lunar eclipse last night. I was so busy trying to get my system back up and running, I just didn't get a chance to appreciate it. But I digress. Let's keep going, shall we? And nothing as far as watches and warnings today. Now, with that being said, we might see an isolated special weather statement or severe thunderstorm warning today. That's potential with that frontal boundary in the area. We do have some heavy rain threats in there for today, but this is going away, folks. We're going to see things dry out here as that pushes onto the south. We got a little frontal boundary that's going to break the temperature down just a little bit tomorrow, but it's going to be coming back up. But as you can see here, going into next week, we got no rains for you. It's going to be very limited, very isolated. So the storm threat for today is marginal. That's a level 1 here for today. Again, nothing to be concerned there. It'll be very isolated here. And then as we go forward tomorrow, just an isolated threat of storm. And same for your Sunday. It'll be very spotty, very isolated. A little more scattered today, more isolated for the weekend. So if you got anything planned for the weekend, don't worry. I don't think you're going to have any kind of washout. Quick look out in the tropics. We do have Dolly out here, which is struggling. Boy, it's having a hard time. It's got dry air. It's got high winds. It's top wind sitting at 40 miles per hour. If this thing survives into the Caribbean, I'll be shocked, but we'll see. Weirder things have definitely happened out there as we're looking at the storm. Just a little cluster of showers and storms in there right now for this morning. As I go and loop that there. So it's continuing to go moving off toward the east here, and we'll see if this thing survives as it continues to move toward the Caribbean and some of those outer islands there. All right, let's look at our local radar again. We're quiet. We got a clean sweep here for us this morning. No rains just yet, but I'm sure we'll get some here later. We got about, my house got a little over a half inch of rain from a little cluster of showers and a few thunderstorms that moved through Atlanta. It's kind of moving up to the northeast. Kind of got through me around lunchtime yesterday. Current temperature is still a few 60s up there in the mountains and low 70s for everybody else. Otherwise, pretty decent start here across the region as we're looking at 69 in Gainesville, 68 up in Dalton, as well as Hiawassee and Clayton this morning. Now, looking at the models here for the weekend, again, we'll see some scatter storms here for this afternoon going in for this evening. So you'll notice it does favor that, basically to the east of 85. So the northwest zones may not see anything here for today. We'll keep a slight chance for you guys, but this definitely favoring the eastern zones. And then as we go into the weekend, it's going to be very, very isolated. See a few there on your Saturday evening. If you see a few storms there. potentially, and then going into your Sunday, more of the same. Again, very isolated here for both Saturday and Sunday. So like I said, weekend is looking pretty good. Thank you guys will enjoy it. So obviously where the heaviest rainfall amounts are going to be here for today, obviously we're favoring the eastern zones there to the east of 85, where that basically wherever that boundary kind of meanders to here for this afternoon. And as far as temperature is concerned, 80s and low 90s. We're going to see a mix of that here for this afternoon. And as we watch those storms kind of pop up, and I'm going to tell you, these will get even warmer going into next week. And I was looking next 2 weeks, man, I don't see anything coming down for us to help bring us in kind of a tease of real fall air or anything just yet. That's still staying very quiet. And here's the reason why. If you remember yesterday, we were talking about the jet stream. And one of the things that we're waiting to see is if we can get some kind of high pressure ridging out here in the west. It was kind of hinting at one kind of up in here, and that would open the door to bring in some cool air here. But that is gone bye-bye. Like I said, we're looking for model continuity. So we got this troughiness out in the west. You see the storm system here kind of slamming into the Pacific Northwest, which is not a bad thing. They've been getting bad fire season out there. These storm systems coming in there will definitely keep them wetter. But notice the jet stream not really doing a whole lot. There's a bit of a trough here going into the following weekend here that'll bring a cool air down for the northeast. Maybe we get a backdoor front here, possibly going into the following weekend. But I don't think it doesn't look overly strong there. But there's no big dips in the jet stream to coming our way. In fact, you still see some more ridging in here. Whoops, sorry about that. Grab the right one. Grab the right tool. You still got the ridging in here. And as long as that stays in place, folks, we're going to continue to stay hot. And in fact, the European model basically keeps a lot of Georgia like in the 90s going for the next 2 weeks, going right through September the 11th. So staying pretty warm there. Here goes our forecast here. And this is the other part of the equation. We're going to stay pretty much on the dry side as well. Obviously, we got some scattered storms here for today as we look for the next 7 days here on this model. Obviously going to your Saturday afternoon, maybe an isolated shower or two, nothing too widespread there. Same going into your Sunday, spotty shower or two, possibility there. And then going into next week, not snowing a whole heck of a lot, just isolated storms. That's what we're going to be seeing here. Some will get it, some won't. But not a lot of coverage here, folks. Not going to see a whole lot of really heavy rains, no real significant systems coming at us here to kind of change this. So just spotty afternoon storms all week long. All across the southeast. It's kind of like winning the rain lottery every day, as I like to refer to that. There's going into your Friday next week, more of the same. So no big changes here in the next 7 days. We're going to see maybe a slight cool down for tomorrow, and then we're going to see a lot of 90s, I think, for next week for a lot of North Georgia. So rainfall totals here the next 7 days looking like this. Again, as we're looking at that chance of this kind of holding firm here as far as not getting a whole lot of rain here. That's going to continue to be a bit of a problem here as you're not getting a whole lot of rain there. And then the next 10 days here, as they take this forward here, and again, no big change. And then going all the way to the end, no big change. So definitely a bit on the dry side, to say the least. That's where I agree with the Climate Center on their. They still got to show an average. I still think below normal temperature. Precipitation, get my brain to work here, is what we're going to be seeing. Now, I wanted to show this real quick. Again, I'm showing y'all the big picture here. All right, so you look at it, this is the 850 temperature. You look at a lot of the country here, a lot of oranges and yellows and reds up there. We're waiting to see if we're going to get any kind of cool air up here to pull up that's going to be coming down here. Now, yesterday was showing hints of it toward the end of the run. Today, it's not there. So what we're going to be looking for is the change in the overall pattern that will allow some sort of cool shot to come down this way. All right, so you see this low pressure kind of rotating through here. If we can get some sort of ridging to take place out here in the west, get that to open up, then we will see some cool air. But in the meantime, right now, going straight into the September, at least the first half of the month, looks like we're going to stay on the mild to warm side. So hopefully the second half of the month will bring a change where the Atlantic the North Atlantic Oscillation will maybe go into a negative mode to bring down some stuff. Then NAO is the position of the jet stream. When it's negative, we get cooler shots down here. When it's positive, like it is now, we stay warm. So that's where we're at with that. So again, look at your temperatures here. Now this is showing again for today or going into Saturday. We showed you what the highs on Friday were going to be like. So Saturday, looking at again mid 80s out there. kind of staying a little bit below behind the frontal system on Saturday. But going into Sunday and going into early next week, you'll notice some changes. So Sunday's still not looking bad here on the European, but boy, does it start to warm up next week. All right, you see more upper 80s and a few 90s out there on Monday, kind of similar to today, I think. And then going into Tuesday, again, we're supposed to be cooling back through the 80s, folks. We're showing 91 in Atlanta, 90 in Gainesville, 88 in Dahlonega. These are above normal here. Check out Wednesday, 93 in Atlanta, 92 Athens, 94 Calhoun. Only the mountains up there, northeast Georgia, getting a little bit of a break. Thursday afternoon, 95 in Atlanta, 95 Calhoun, 92 Gainesville. So looks like going into your Labor Day weekend, it's going to be a hot one. I mean, we got mid-90s there down the metro Atlanta area, 90 in Dahlonega on Friday. I'm taking you through Labor Day weekend here. I'm going beyond the 7-day because we're getting so close to Labor Day weekend. So Labor Day weekend, looking hot, 90s. And going into Sunday, look at that, 96 Atlanta showing up on there. Wow, 90 LJ, 91 Dahlonega, 88 in Hiawassee. And then going into Monday morning, Labor Day week itself, still showing a lot of 90. So you get the gist. Yeah, it's going to stay hot. It's going to stay steamy right into your Labor Day weekend, and that's what the climate outlook here is showing. We got the cooler weather out there in the west, obviously, where they're getting the rain and the stormy weather out there, but we got this big dome kind of sitting across the east, and it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there right through, taking us right through the 10th of September. So, and that's what we're seeing on the European. European does not change all the way out. Now, precipitation-wise, they are putting a little dryness in here. I think that should be expanded, but kind of coming in across extreme West Georgia. And then they got to go as normal. I would paint them with more tan for sure, because we're not getting a whole lot of rain here over the next couple of weeks. No big systems coming at us here. All right. So anyway, here's the 7-day forecast. Oops, sorry about that. Here's 7-day again. They got the best rain chance probably today. Backing off the 30% for the weekend, and look at that temperature going up to 94 by the time we get to Thursday. Going into that Labor Day weekend is looking awfully hot, feeling more like end of July weather than going into September. So, man, I'm officially over summer. I'm so ready for some fall air and some weather stuff to get in here. But unfortunately, Mother Nature says not so fast. And this, I'll be honest with you, with the strong El Nino coming in, this is not that unusual to see on the tail end of summer going into fall, to see it kind of above normal. I expect that a little bit. But as we go transition into September and going into October, I think we're going to flip the script. We're going to get a lot more activity as far as subtropical and moisture and wetness and clouds. That should bring the temperature down a little bit. And we're going to have to really pay attention for a potentially active severe weather season in the fall. We typically talk about spring, but sometimes the fall can get a little more active. And so with what we're expecting with the overall climate outlook here for the fall and winter, I think we're in store for some more active weather. But for the meantime, right now, no, we're just dealing with a lot of heat, and just some isolated storms and stuff. All right, again, appreciate you guys checking us out. If you're new here, and if you'd like to go ahead and become a YouTube member or a Facebook subscriber and help us support our effort to build a 24-hour channel here, become part of the family. We got about 320 y'all out here between the two services, and I do appreciate you guys helping us out here to cover the expenses. I got to go try to buy me another computer today. I got to get one with a little more RAM, a little more active memory on it to see if it'll be stable enough to run a 24-hour channel. What it was doing when I was trying to set this thing, when I was testing it, like this loop you see next door to me, what it was doing is when a new one came in, it was blowing it out. It was causing the other software that I used to kind of glitch and look like crap, and then it was causing the other radar image to lose this image. It just wasn't. No matter what setting I tried, no matter what I tried to put in there, it didn't work. So I had to take that computer back. So we're gonna try to get another one later this afternoon and give it another test drive. Okay, so hopefully I'll keep working at it. Hopefully we'll get that back up here in the next week or so. So anyway, appreciate you guys checking us out. Hopefully I'll have your full update here later this afternoon. I got to rebuild that slide deck now, so but we're getting there slowly. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all later. Y'all guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you back in here on Monday. Bye-bye.